Hey, what's up today? So, as you can see here, you can probably tell by the engines, I am going to start building a 3D printed Razor Crest. I'm not sure if it's like, I know it's not like a copy of the HasLab. You can kind of tell like it's not as detailed and stuff, but it's huge. It's got like working side doors. It's got all the seats, like it's got everything here. And then it's got these little these pins here that fit into sockets on the parts, which makes it like super duper easy to fucking put it together. So yeah, so there's a Captain Power guy there, just to kind of show the scale of the Razor Crest. I think it is going to be pretty big, so I think the next part is probably going to be painting it, but just be warned, like I got this print off of Thingiverse, and it was created by Fine Engineer. I'm not recreating these to sell them or anything like that, so I just wanted to give him credit because he is the one that designed the print. But I think the next stage I'm gonna start painting it. But no, I'm looking forward to this. I like missed out on the HasLab Razor Crest just because it wasn't like, couldn't really pull it off at the time. But now this Razor Crest, HasLab Razor Crest, goes for like over $1,000 I've seen, so that's a bit ridiculous. So I think it's gonna be a lot of fun putting this together. It comes with a whole bunch of like accessories. That's the landing gear. You'll see once I get it all laid out and all painted up. I'm gonna go with a silver base coat first, and then I'm not sure if I'm going to copy the show necessarily. I don't know, it almost like the season 3 trailer makes it look like he's getting a new Razor Crest, so I have no idea what's going on, but I will just kind of paint it up. Maybe I'll do my own version of the Razor Crest. Maybe I'll make it true to the season 1 and 2 until it gets blown to shit. But we'll see where it goes. Another thing you should be aware of, like these were all printed on, a buddy of mine's an engineer. Like I didn't print these out, but he printed them out on, he's got an Ender, and I don't know if it's a 3 or what it is, but it's a good size Ender printer. And some of these parts, like the body parts, the wing parts and stuff, like those are 3-day prints. So all in all, I've probably got about $250, $300 into this. So that's just in materials. He was awesome enough not to charge me for his time. But yeah, so it's about $300 or more in materials, and you get to get together yourself. So by the end of this video, you can decide whether you want to try this out or not. Alright, so I got all my parts painted in kind of like a silver color. I definitely painted the interior first. I'll do the paint job and all the stuff in there before I glue it together, because that'll just be a pain in the butt to get in there. I think I'll get it fully assembled, and then I'll do all the weathering and stuff like that. But this file does come with downloadable assembly instructions, and there is a little bit smaller version of it available too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it all depends on the size of your printer. Like I said, my buddy that helped me get this stuff together, he printed them out, and he's got a little bit bigger 3D printer, and this has got to be close to the scale of the HasLab. I don't know if it's the exact same size, but I'll just keep kind of plugging away at this stuff and get everything assembled. Alright, so I got some of the painting done. I started painting the seats, and I'll do like a little bit of a black wash on that. But I'm trying to get all the parts painted before I put in, like that's the floor for the cockpit. I started painting a bit of the control panel. I'm going to clean that up a little bit, make some of it a bit darker. I started painting those off panels on the Razor Crest. There's a few that are just kind of off, but then this is mostly landing gear and stuff, so I'm going to probably get going on the assembly. And then, yeah, we'll just go from there, okay? All right, so I've got the landing gear put together, and this is like the side back landing gear, so that's pretty cool. There's actually, in this print, there's like a little bit of engineering that went on here. And like, you take this, and when it's all assembled, like this landing gear will like fold right up in there and go flush with the side. So I did a bit more on the cockpit too. I think I'm happy with that for now. We'll go with that. And then it's got these little holes in the print that you put a magnet in, and then you put the magnet on the tailgate piece as well, so it keeps it closed, obviously. So I think from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get this thing assembled. I'm not going to do the weathering till the end, so it all kind of flows together, but I'm going to go through and assemble this, get it all happening, and then we'll see what it looks like when it's all fully assembled. And yeah, like I said, you know, some of these are big prints. Like, this isn't something like if you just got your 3D printer last week, like, I wouldn't jump into this. The guy that printed this for me, like, he knows what he's doing. He's like an engineer and stuff, so, and he's had a bit of time to play around with it and figure it out. So I'm gonna get this thing chucked together and we'll take a look at it. So kind of a critical step in this is, most people are gonna figure this out, but like, I've done stupider things in my life. So, but there's like a little track here that connects to this piece, and you got to make sure that these side doors are on there before you put it together. You know, it's something you can miss. You know, I've been pretty excited putting this together, so I'm trying not to get ahead of myself and rush things along. So I maybe could have missed that, but that's just kind of a critical step. And even the landing gear, when the next part comes up, like, yeah, the landing gear is the same thing. If you screw up, like, and don't put them in at the right time, then you're kind of effed. So I've got these two parts put together. Pretty happy with that. And this thing, like, yeah, that fine engineer on Thingiverse, like, he did an incredible job making this print. Like, look at this interior. That looks so friggin' awesome. And you could add stuff too. Like, you can add, I don't know, some extra racks. You can add his like weapon storage thing. I think that's kind of why he threw these little lockers in here. But you can add stuff to this. It's also designed that you could do lighting in it. Like, you could run lights all the way through this thing. But I don't quite have the expertise for that. And then it's got Grogu's little sleeping compartment there. And I just like how it holds just the transition, and then you like transition into the cockpit. So we'll get the next part on. So there it is. Fine Engineers Razor Crest from Thingiverse. Yeah, this thing went together so friggin' easy. So the next step, I think, I'm just going to do the weathering and all that kind of stuff on it. I did have this transparent kind of shrinky see-through stuff that I was experimenting doing the glass on here. But I screwed up the last piece that I had, so I'm going to have to go out and get some more for that. But I think for just for the sake of finishing the video, I'm going to do the weathering, and then I will kind of show you what it looks like after that, so I can kind of wrap this up and you guys can check it out. All right, so here it is, all done. This thing is killer. I've done all the weathering. It's like, for the purposes of the video, this is as far as I'm going to go. I screwed up the last piece of translucent plastic. I was going to like kind of heat shrink onto the underside of the canopy there, so I'll have to save that for another time. But I'm going to do this up, and then I've got another update video on the whole collection coming up. And this is cool. Yeah, like these doors, everything opens. Yeah, like I said, this thing is so epic. Like, yeah, the doors are open. You can kind of like sort of look inside there. The back one opens up. And these are all nice tight fits. I didn't have to use magnets at all. They just kind of friction fit, kind of closed. But yeah, I've done my weathering. I didn't put that marking on the side yet. I might do that. But yeah, so go check out Thingiverse and its fine engineer. And if you can, shoot the guy a tip. He definitely deserves it. Like, this is so cool. Glad I finally have one. It's not the Razor Crest, but I had such a, like, just a blast putting this thing together, customizing it. Yeah, it'll definitely be one of my prized pieces in my collection, and I'll definitely make sure that this thing is front and center for my next video, that's for sure. But thanks for hanging out with me while I built the Razor Crest, and I will check you later.